This is my 1998 W140 S-Class. It's slowly turning from a forgotten luxury tank into a reliable daily driver. In this part, we're knocking off more items from the punch list. And yeah, some of them turned out to be way more interesting than I expected. It turns out we were wrong in the last episode. We thought we fixed the grinding issue from the engine compartment when we replaced the power steering pump. But it turns out that after a little while the sound comes back, and we suspect that the air gets into the system and causes the pump to make this like grinding sound, because it's exactly the same sound as before, and it's coming from the power steering pump. You know, I was like, okay, shit, is it from somewhere else when I heard the sound? But we double checked and it's coming from here. So, and it's impossible that it's exactly the same problem with the new pump. So I read on some forums, and it seems like a very common issue that these hoses start to leak air, and this is on the suction side, I believe. So it sucks in air on lower RPMs, and then you get air into the pump, and then it starts to grind. So we're gonna replace this hose and see if that helps the issue. Yeah. Yeah, so new hose and new hose clamps, new fluid, and we're gonna bleed it and see the result. So test drive. It's quiet now. It has not coming back. So it seems quiet now. We will see if it will stay like that. It seems like we made it. So that means if you have a grinding power steering pump on a W140 or another Mercedes with the similar power steering pump layout, it could be that you just have a little bit leaking hose, not that your whole pump is broken. So that's actually quite good news, even though we spent like 300 euros to replace the pump, and I guess it was not a problem. It was just a cheap little hose. So yeah, that's a really good tip to check out before you replace the whole pump, because it's a lot easier and cheaper to just replace a hose, it seems. That's greater success than last time when we replaced the pump, and it all went away, and then it came back within a few minutes, or just after we stopped filming. So this is quite good success, and it's very good tip for you guys that maybe drives this old Mercedes with this pump layout, this power steering layout. And it could be just a small leaking hose, or like a bad hose clamp that causes the pump to suck in air, and then it just sounds like the world will go under and the engine will come out. So that's very good. Perfect. Let's move on to next thing that we're gonna do with this car. But first, let's go through the overall condition of the car. It's good. As you can see from below, previous owner did some rust protection. That's why it looks oily and sticky, but it's good for us that it's already done. Brake hoses, I notice, look a bit crusty, and I can notice that sway bar is loose, which we will also tackle in this video. To give you a better overview what we have already done and what is left to do, here is the punch list. Let's see what's been done and what's next. As you can see, we've ticked a few more boxes, and now it's time to move on and fix the front suspension rattle, give the engine bay a proper deep clean, replace a few cracked brake hoses, and throw on the new winter wheels before inspection. And finally, we'll freshen up the interior and decide on the new head unit. Classic or modern? I'll let you decide in the comments. We will remove the sway bars, or no, the links here, and it's a bit interesting on the W140 because you can see it connects here, and usually you can just reach the other side of the nut, but the brake disc is in the way for the nut, so we'll need to remove the caliper, the disc, to reach the sway bar link nut. My best guess for the front end rattle is that we need new sway bar bushings and sway bar links. Let's dive in and take care of that. Then further. Then we're gonna replace the sway bar bushings. These sway bars comes in different dimensions. There are 26, 28 and 30 millimeters, I believe. And when I measured it, this was 30 millimeters. So it should be correct size, I hope. We'll notice that. One thing to think about before ordering parts, that you go and measure this, because I tried to search on the VIN number and it didn't show, so I think it's just to take a measurement here and you will see. Yeah, and the point that I want to make with this video is that don't expect it to be like a 10-minute job on most other cars. It's just like 10 minutes to replace the sway bar links, but on this car you need to plan for a little bit more time, since you need to remove the brakes. Alright, the front end rattle is gone, which is always satisfying. Now we move on to the engine tune-up. And to make sure that we pass the emission test, we're gonna replace the air filter, because we don't know when it was done. That looks nasty. New one from Bosch. New air filter in, spark plugs done, and next it's time to clean up the engine bay. This car deserves to look as good under the hood as it drives. As you can see, it's a bit dirty here and we have a lot of gunk. I believe it's from an old gasket or something, so we're gonna clean this engine compartment and make it look nice again. Looking from underneath, there's a lot of buildup. It's bone dry on the driver's side, but wet on the passenger side. If you know these M104 engines, you know they have a few common leak points. So if you've got ideas, drop them in the comments. Interestingly, I haven't had to top up any oil at all, so I'm thinking it might just be old residue and maybe the previous owner already fixed the leak. So either way, we'll clean it all off and see what happens. We start with some degreaser. Don't use too high pressure, that's just a bad idea. You can get water in connections and stuff like that. So I have this Kränzle 1152 pressure washer, and it has a good feature that you can turn down the pressure, so that's quite good in this case. And the result, nice and tidy. So it's soon winter time and time to put some winter tires on. So I got this set of original W140 wheels from eBay, and I put this Tojo studless tires, which should be really good winter tires. So we're gonna do that. First we're gonna clean them off. You see they are a bit dirty, and meanwhile while in there, we're gonna replace the brake hoses in the rear because they are cracked, and we need to pass the inspection, and that's one of the first things they check, the brake hoses. So new brake hoses and some new wheels for W140. That will be nice. First we start off with the degreaser. Then we move on to this acid clean gel. Acid cleaner. I mean, it's 95% better. There's still some dark spots left. I think we could get them off by doing it a few more times with the acid, or we could mix it we could make a stronger mix with acid and try to remove it. But I think this will do for winter tires right now. check the new lines so that the length is the right one. There are a few different lengths available to the W140 from 26 centimeter to like 32 centimeter, so you gotta be right before you remove the old one, but this looks like it's the correct length. And then you can block the brake cylinder by pushing down the pedal. And since we blocked the pedal, we don't have any brake fluid just pouring out, so that's perfect. Really crusty. On with the new brake hose. So we're gonna flush the brakes using this brake flush tool. It's a good tool that makes your life easier. You apply 2 bar of pressure, I think, and then we do the rear first, start with the right, then the left, then we take the front right, front left. It looks good, so we will close this here and then we move on to the other side. Looks really good with the original wheels. Now we're gonna take it for inspection. Yeah, so we passed the inspection. Of course we did. We even got the thumbs up for a very nice car. So that means we can move on to the next thing and give this car some love it deserves on the inside. Moving inside. The interior is actually in really good shape for its age. However, it definitely smells like an old car in here. So a deep clean is in order, and you will see why later when you see how dirty that water gets. I'm also starting to remove some old aftermarket installs that completely ruin the factory look. Seriously, whoever thought this was a good idea, but I think we can fix it. The interior is finally clean and the only thing missing now is the Yule on the crown. In the next episode we're going for a sound upgrade and installing a brand new head unit. So that's part 3. A mix of mechanical work, cleanup and prep for what's next. Step by step, we're getting this W140 closer to becoming the perfect, reliable daily driver. If you're enjoying the series, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. And let me know what you would like to see next on this build. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next episode.